Dear friends, welcome to the overview of Pharmacy Act 1948. So in these sessions, we are going to discuss about the different MCQs related to the Pharmacy Act 1948, and we will have some discussion about the different aspects of Pharmacy Act 1948. So here is the first question on your screen. So what is the primary objective of the Pharmacy Act 1948? Whether to regulate the medical professions or to standardize the education and practice of pharmacy, to control the pricing of drugs, and to promote the traditional medicine systems. As you know very well that the Pharmacy Act 1948 was established not to regulate the medical profession. It's regulate to the pharmacy profession. Option C is to control the pricing of drugs. To control the pricing of drugs within the India, we have the DPCO, or now it is a NPPA, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority. So C is not the correct answer. To promote the traditional medicine system. So for the traditional medicine system, we don't have the Pharmacy Council of India or Pharmacy Act. So correct answer is to standardize the education and practice of pharmacy. So Pharmacy Act was in force or implemented in 1948 to standardize the education and to regulation of the pharmacy professions within the India. Why? Before the 1948, just see the pre-1948 scenario where there was unregulated practice. So there is no restriction on who could practice the pharmacy. There is lack of qualification also because there is no any kind of regulation. So anyone can dispense the medicines. So persons with no formal educations in the pharmacy are involving in the compounding and dispensing of medicines. So because of that, there is no standardizations in the medication preparation as well as dispensing. So it will lead to public at a risk. So hundred or thousands of documentation cases were reported due to the improper compounding and dispensing. So there is no any kind of regulations available before the 1948, and because of that, our public health is at a risk because anyone can do the practice of pharmacy. Persons without qualifications are involved in the compounding and dispensing of the medicines. Even there is no consistency in the pharmaceutical education also. So there is urgent need of regulations which can regulate the pharmacy professions within the India. That's why Indian government was implemented the Pharmacy Act 1948. Now this act was implemented for the pharmacy, or it will transform the pharmacy from unregulated trade or unregulated professions to the professional practices, which requires specific qualification, which requires specific educations, and which gives the ethical standards for the purpose of practicing of the pharmacy. So dear friends, these are the some of the objectives of Pharmacy Act. So Pharmacy Act was implemented to ensure the only qualified individual can practice the pharmacy. So regulation of pharmacy profession is taken place. Then Pharmacy Act is implemented to set the minimum standards for the pharmacy educations and training. Third objective of Pharmacy Act was to establish the council. As per the provision made in the Pharmacy Act 1948, it has uh, give power to the central government to establish the Pharmacy Council of India. It is also called as the Central Council and State Pharmacy Council for each state. And then fourth objective of Pharmacy Act was registration system. That is, it created the system for the registering the qualified pharmacy. So these are the some of the objectives of Pharmacy Act. Now, this is the next question. Which of the following is not the ex officio member of State Pharmacy Council? So this question is for, you can say, from the State Pharmacy Council, Constitution of State Pharmacy Council. So which is not a ex officio member of the State Pharmacy Council, whether it is Director General of Drug Laboratory, sorry, Director Central Drug Laboratory, Chief Administrative Medical Officer of State, or Officer in charge of drug control organizations, or government analyst. Just think and note it down answer on your notebook. So correct answer is option A. Director CDL is not a ex officio member of State Pharmacy Council. Director CDL is a ex officio member for the Central Council, that is Pharmacy Council of India. That is Pharmacy Council of India. So this is the composition of State Pharmacy Council, which is given in Pharmacy Act 1948. There are three types of members: elected members, nominated members, and ex officio members. Elected members, 6 members from the registered pharmacist of the state are elected among themselves, and, uh, and 1 member from the state medical council. So there are total 7 members are elected from the registered pharmacist and the state medical council. Then 3 members are nominated, 5 members are nominated by the state government, sorry, not central government, nominated by the state government. Okay, out of 5, 3 members should possess a degree or diploma in pharmacy or be a registered pharmacist. So state government has power to nominate the 5 members, and out of 5, 3 members are be a registered pharmacist or must possess degree or diploma in pharmacy. Then third type of member is ex officio member, means those persons are sitting on that particular post is automatically will be the member of the state pharmacy council. That is chief medical officer of the state, officer in charge of drug control organization of the state, and government analyst appointed under the DNC Act 1940 by the state government is automatically the member of state pharmacy council. So our question is what? Which of the following is not a ex officio member of state pharmacy council? So as far as the constitution of state pharmacy council is concerned, the chief medical officer of the state is the ex officio member, officer in charge of drug control organization is the ex officio member, and government analyst is also the ex officio member. So correct answer is director of central drug laboratory is not a ex officio member of state pharmacy council. So this is the constitution of central council, that is Pharmacy Council of India. So director of central drug laboratory is the ex officio member of PCI. Remember, PCI or Pharmacy Council of India, also called as Central Council or also known by the Central Council. So Constitution of Central Council also having the 3 types of member: elected members, nominated members, and ex officio members. For the purpose of preparation of examination, you must know who are the elected members, how many members are elected, how many members are nominated by the central government, okay, and who are the nominated by the central government. You have to remember the number of members as well as the nominated members also, and then who are the ex officio members. So if you prepare like this, it will be easy to solve the questions in a fraction of seconds. That is really important for the purpose of competitive examination. So this is the next question now. Education regulations under the Pharmacy Act are formulated by. So there is one provision in Pharmacy Act. Someone has to publish the education regulations, or someone has to prepare the education regulations to ensure the educational standards throughout the India. Educational standards throughout the India. So whether State Pharmacy Council can formulate? No, State Pharmacy Council does not have the power to formulate the education regulation. Central government? No, central government doesn't have the power to formulate the education regulation. Pharmacy Council of India, or it is also called as Central Council, yes, the PCI or Central Council has the power to formulate the education regulation. And Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, they have the power to regulate the PCI, but they don't have the power to formulate the education regulation. So ER is formulated by the Pharmacy Council of India. That is, education regulation is formulated by Pharmacy Council of India. So Central Council is responsible for framing the education regulation to standardize the pharmacy educations throughout the country, to formulate the education regulations throughout the country. Okay, now the next question. Which of the following is not a function of State Pharmacy Council? So read the question very carefully. They have asked, they have listed the different functions of State Pharmacy Council, and you have to choose which is not a function of the State Pharmacy Council. So you have to select the proper options which is not a function of State Pharmacy Council. You know, State Pharmacy Council is responsible to maintain the register of pharmacists. State Pharmacy Council, is it responsible to approve the course of study for the pharmacist? State Pharmacy Council is responsible to inspect the institutions of the pharmacy training, or to hear or decide the appeals against the decision of registrar. So, as far as the provision made in the Pharmacy Act 1948, the correct answer is option B, that is to approve the course of study for the pharmacist. So this is the function of PCI, that is Central Council, not a State Pharmacy Council. To give the approval of the institution, to give approval of the D Pharm, B Pharm, M Pharm, Pharm D qualification, which is required for the pharmacist. So this is the one of the important function of PCI, that is Pharmacy Council of India, not a State Pharmacy Council. So approval of courses of study and examination is the function of Central Council, not a State Pharmacy Council. And other functions are has to play by the State Pharmacy Councils. Now next, fifth question. The President of Pharmacy Council of India is elected by. The President of PCI is elected by option A, Central Government, B, Member of Central Council, C, State Pharmacy Council, or D, Medical Council of India. The correct answer is yes. The correct answer is the option B, that is Member of Central Council. Member of Central Council. So we have seen the constitution of Pharmacy Council of India, elected members, nominated members, and ex officio members. They have formed the Central Council, and the members of Central Council, they are going to elect the president and vice presidents by the member of council from among themselves. So president and vice president should be the member of Central Council. So they have elected among from the Central Council members. So president of PCI is elected by the member of Central Council, or member of PCI, you can say also, no issue, because Central Council is also called as PCI. Now, sixth question. Who is responsible for appointing the registrar of the State Pharmacy Council? Registrar of State Pharmacy Council by each state. So option A, central government, option B, state government, option C, members of state councils, and D, the Pharmacy Council of India. So who is going to appoint the registrar in the State Pharmacy Council? The correct option is option B, that is state government is the only responsible or have the authority to appoint the registrar and other officers of State Pharmacy Council office. No, central government will not have the power to appoint someone in the State Pharmacy Council, or PCI doesn't have any role to appointment of the some officials in the State Pharmacy Council. So correct answer is the state government is responsible for appointing the registrar of the State Pharmacy Council. Question number 7. Who among the following is ex officio member of the Pharmacy Council of India? Now see the question. Now here in that question they have not asked about who is not an ex officio member. They have asked now who is an ex officio member of PCI. Whether the President of Medical Council of India, or Director of CDL, or Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, or President of AICTE? Who is the member of ex officio member of PCI? Already we have discussed this question. The correct answer is the Director of Central Drugs Laboratory. Who is the ex officio member of Central Council? एकूण 3 एक्स ऑफिशियो मेंबर आहेत फार्मसी काउन्सिल ऑफ इंडियाचे. एक आहे डायरेक्टर जनरल ऑफ हेल्थ सर्व्हिसेस, दुसरे आहे डायरेक्टर ऑफ सेंट्रल ड्रग लॅबोरेटरी दॅट इज CDL अँड ड्रग कंट्रोलर ऑफ इंडिया. दिस 3 मेंबर्स आर ऑफ एक्स ऑफिशियो मेंबर. आपल्याला जे काही ऑप्शन्स होते त्याच्यामधला हाच एक ऑप्शन्स असा आहे की जो बरोबर आहे, म्हणजे डायरेक्टर ऑफ सेंट्रल ड्रग लॅबोरेटरी इज द एक्स ऑफिशियो मेंबर ऑफ फार्मसी काउन्सिल ऑफ इंडिया. Now this is question from the offences and penalties. So what is the penalty? Sorry, what is the penalty for the first conviction of falsely claiming to be registered pharmacist? What is the penalty for first convictions of falsely claiming to be a registered pharmacist? Whether it is fine up to rupees 50, fine up to rupees 500, or imprisonment up to the 6 months, or fine up to the 1000 rupees. So which one is the correct penalty for the first convictions of falsely claiming to be registered pharmacist? म्हणजे तुम्ही असं चुकीचं भासवता की मी रजिस्टर्ड फार्मासिस्ट आहे आणि असं फर्स्ट अपीअरन्स मध्ये पहिल्यांदा जर अशा प्रकारचा जर गुन्हा घडला तर तुम्हाला फार्मसी ऍक्ट 1948 नुसार काय पेनल्टी होऊ शकते? द करेक्ट आन्सर इज फाईन अप टू 500 rupees for the first convictions of falsely claiming to be registered pharmacist. First convictions falsely claiming to be registered pharmacist. So correct option is B. Now question number 9. How many members are nominated by state government to the state pharmacy council? State pharmacy council मध्ये स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट कडून किती मेंबर्स नॉमिनेटेड केले जातात? 3, 4, 5 or 6? Yes, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, correct answer is 5. So 5 members are nominated by the state government to the state pharmacy council, and out of 5, at least 3 shall be possesses degree or diploma in pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry or be a registered pharmacist. 5 जण स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट स्टेट फार्मसी काउन्सिलचं मेंबर म्हणून नॉमिनेट करू शकतात. त्यापैकी 3 मेंबर, कमीत कमी 3 मेंबर हे फार्मसी एज्युकेशन बॅकग्राऊंडचे असले पाहिजेत किंवा ते रजिस्टर्ड फार्मासिस्ट असले पाहिजे, तरच ते नॉमिनेशनच्या प्रक्रियेमध्ये भाग घेऊ शकतात आणि स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट त्यांना तरच नॉमिनेट करू शकतात. सो करेक्ट आन्सर इज ऑप्शन सी, दॅट इज 5. Already we have seen that how many members are nominations by the state pharmacy council. So out of 5, 3 members should be possesses degree or diploma or to be a registered pharmacist. Now question number 10. Who is act as secretary and treasurer of the PCI? Who is act as secretary and treasurer of PCI? Whether the president of PCI, director general of health services, the registrar, or the drug controller of India. सेक्रेटरी सचिव, ट्रेझरर खजिनदार. तर पीसीआयचा सचिव कोण असतो? प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ पीसीआय, डायरेक्टर जनरल ऑफ हेल्थ सायन्सेस, रजिस्ट्रार or drug controller of India. The correct option is option C, that is registrar. So central councils can appoint the registrar, and who shall act as the secretary and even treasurer of the Pharmacy Council of India. Treasurer of Pharmacy Council of India. Now, in a joint state pharmacy council, So this is question related to the Joint State Pharmacy Council. How many members from the registered pharmacist are elected from each participating state? Means how many elected members from each participating state, that is Joint State Pharmacy Council मध्ये जे कुठल्या स्टेट त्यांच्यामध्ये भाग घेत असतील, हो की नाही, तर त्या प्रत्येक स्टेट मधून किती फार्मासिस्ट हे इलेक्टेड होतात प्रत्येक स्टेट मधून, वेदर 1 member, 2 or 4 members, 3 or 5 members or 6 members. 1 member, 2 or 4 members, 3 to 5 members and 6 members. So correct option is option C. Yes, you write it out pointly. So in case of the Joint State Pharmacy Council, 3 to 5 members from the registered pharmacist of each participating states are elected and 1 member from medical council of each participating states are elected. 3 ते 5 मेंबर जे आहेत ते रजिस्टर्ड फार्मासिस्ट मधून त्यांचं इलेक्शन होऊन ते प्रत्येक स्टेट मधून ते येतील मेंबर म्हणून जॉईंट स्टेट फार्मसी काउन्सिलच्या, आणि प्रत्येक स्टेट मधून 1 मेंबर फ्रॉम मेडिकल काउन्सिल, जितके काही मेडिकल काउन्सिलचे मेंबर असतील त्यांच्यामध्ये इलेक्शन होऊन त्यातला एक जण जॉईंट स्टेट फार्मसी काउन्सिल मध्ये. सिमिलरली रिस्पेक्टिव्ह स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट त्या जॉईंट फार्मसी काउन्सिल मध्ये ज्या ज्या स्टेट आहेत त्याचे स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट काही मेंबर नॉमिनेट करतील. ओके, 2 ते 4 मेंबर ते नॉमिनेट करतील, त्यातले हाफ जण असतील, म्हणजे जर 4 मेंबर नॉमिनेट केले त्यातले 2 जण हे फार्मसिस्ट असतील. कोण असतील? फार्मसिस्ट, किंवा त्यांचं एज्युकेशन हे डी फार्म, बी फार्म किंवा फार्मास्युटिकल केमिस्ट्री मध्ये झालेलं असेल, आणि प्रत्येक स्टेट मधून ते नॉमिनेट केले जातील. आणि त्या स्टेटचे जे काही ऑफिसर्स असतील ते ऑटोमॅटिकली एक्स ऑफिसर मेंबर म्हणून जॉईंट स्टेट फार्मसी काउन्सिल मध्ये जातील. सेम चीफ ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव्ह मेडिकल ऑफिसर्स ऑफ ईच पार्टिसिपेटिंग स्टेट or officer in charge of drug controller of organization of each participating states and the government analyst of that particular state. So hence the answer of this question, that is in a joint state pharmacy councils, 3 to 5 members are elected from the registered pharmacist from each participating state, from each participating state. Okay, now next question. Who is going to appoint the inspector to evaluate the pharmacy institutions? Whether the state government or PCI or University Grant Commission, that is UGC, or the AICT. The correct answer is, as far as the Pharmacy Act 1948 is concerned, the Pharmacy Council of India, that is PCI, has authority to appoint the PCI inspectors who are going to evaluate the pharmacy institutions whether they have followed the provision made in education regulations or not. So inspector is appointed by Pharmacy Council of India. So if you know the functions of Pharmacy Council of India, you will able to solve this type of questions. So first function of Pharmacy Council of India to prescribe the or to formulate the education regulation, in which they prescribe the minimum standard of education for pharmacists. Education regulation is the document which defines the syllabus, curriculum, duration of course. So B Pharm 2 years, sorry, B Pharm 4 years, D Pharm 2 years, or practical training requirement after completion of your course, isn't it? Or which can give the list of equipment and the facility of the standards which is required to be maintained by the each college. म्हणजे प्रत्येक कॉलेजमध्ये कुठले इक्विपमेंट पाहिजे, काय फॅसिलिटी पाहिजे, ह्या सर्वांची माहिती हे एज्युकेशन रेग्युलेशनच्या डॉक्युमेंट मध्ये दिली जाते, आणि ते तयार करण्याचं काम हे पीसीआयचं. सेकंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट फंक्शन ऑफ पीसीआय इज द इन्स्पेक्शन प्रोसेस. आपण ज्या कॉलेजमध्ये शिकतो, फार्मसी कॉलेजमध्ये, त्या फार्मसी कॉलेजमध्ये एज्युकेशन रेग्युलेशननी दिलेले सर्व नियम फॉलो केले जातात की नाही हे तपासण्यासाठी इन्स्पेक्शन प्रोसेस करतात. म्हणून पीसीआय काय करतं, इन्स्पेक्टर अपॉइंट करतं की जे इन्स्पेक्टर फार्मसी इन्स्टिट्यूशनची तपासणी करतील. दे विल कंडक्ट द इन्स्पेक्शन ऑफ द कोर्सेस, दॅट इज डी फार्म, बी फार्म, एम फार्म, फार्म डी, एक्झामिनेशन्स अँड ऑल अदर द फॅसिलिटीज. हे सगळं पीसीआयच्या एज्युकेशन रेग्युलेशन नुसार होतंय की नाही हे तपासण्याचं काम इन्स्पेक्टर करते. And they will submit the reports of the inspections to the executive committee of PCI, that is EC committee. It is called as EC of PCI, executive committee, consisting of 7 members. EC consisting of 7 members. So one is president, another one is the vice president, and 5 are the members are elected from the central councils. 5 members are elected from the central council. So total 7 members are present in EC, that is executive committee, which is higher than that of the central council because they are elected from the central council. So president and vice president are the ex officio president and vice president of EC. म्हणजे पीसीआय चे जे प्रेसिडेंट आणि व्हाईस प्रेसिडेंट असतात ते ऑटोमॅटिकली ईसी चे पण प्रेसिडेंट आणि व्हाईस प्रेसिडेंट असतात आणि बाकीच्या सेंट्रल काउन्सिलच्या मेंबर मधून 5 जण ते सिलेक्ट करू शकतात, इलेक्ट करू शकतात ऍज अ मेंबर ऑफ एक्झिक्युटिव्ह कमिटी. After the submission of report by the inspector to the PCI, PCI can review that inspection report and they can give the approval to the DPharm, BPharm, MPharm, PharmD Institute who meets the education regulations. Okay. Then they have the power to withdraw the approval if standards are deteriorated. म्हणजे एखाद्या कॉलेजेसने एखाद्या इन्स्टिट्यूटने जर पीसीआयचे नॉर्म्स फॉलो केले नाही तर त्यांचं दिलेलं अप्रुव्हल काढून घेण्याची पॉवर ही पीसीआयला आहे. म्हणून पीसीआय पिरियॉडिकली प्रत्येक फार्मसी कॉलेज हे चेक करत असतात आणि आपल्याला माहित पाहिजे कारण याच्यावरून सुद्धा आपल्याला एमसीक्यू तयार करून प्रश्न येऊ शकतात. देन सेंट्रल रजिस्टर. द मेन फंक्शन ऑफ Pharmacy Council of India to regulate the pharma regulations, and into that they have to prepare and maintain the central register of pharmacist. Means the name of pharmacist or the person who having the minimum qualification defined in the Pharmacy Act 1948, they have entered their name into the register of each state, isn't it? ज्या राज्यामध्ये त्यांचं फार्मसीचं एज्युकेशन पूर्ण झालं असेल त्या राज्यातील स्टेट फार्मसी काउन्सिल मध्ये ते नाव नोंदवतील. दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टेट रजिस्टर. अँड आफ्टर द completion of year, state pharmacy council has to submit the list of registered pharmacists to the PCI, and PCI can then combine all the names from each states and then they have to publish the central register. So periodically PCI will revise and update the pharmacist record, publish in the Gazette of India, and that is the public document. Central register is a public document. They have to publish in a government domain, so it can be accessible by the each citizen of the India. Now, this is question related to the provision made in the education regulation. According to the education regulation, how many hours of the practical training are required after completion of DPharm course? DPharm course पूर्ण झाल्यावर साधारणपणे प्रॅक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग म्हणजे आपण मेडिकल मध्ये कम्युनिटी फार्मसी, हॉस्पिटल फार्मसी याच्यामध्ये कमीत कमी किती तासाची ट्रेनिंग घेणं अपेक्षित आहे as far as ER is concerned, latest ER. Yes, whether it is 250 hours, 500 hours, 750 hours or 1000 hours. So correct answer is yes, perfect. The 500 hours. Correct answer is 500 hours. Which of the following register is maintained by the central council? याच्यापैकी कुठलं रजिस्टर सेंट्रल काउन्सिल मेन्शन करतं? Yes, central council can maintain state register, central register or subsequent register or both A and B. So PCI is responsible to maintain the central register. Now question number 15. The pharmacy practice regulation. It is also called as PPR. Pharmacy practice regulation. The pharmacy practice regulation, that is PPR, under the Pharmacy Act 1948 were published in which year? कुठल्या वर्षी फार्मसी प्रॅक्टिस रेग्युलेशन पीसीआय ने पब्लिश केला? 1990, 2000, 2010 or 2015? So correct option is option D, 2015. 2015 मध्ये PCI ने फार्मसी प्रॅक्टिस रेग्युलेशन्स पब्लिश केलेलं आहे. And it is now public document available on the PCI websites. Now, which of the following is not a function of PCI? खालील दिलेल्या फंक्शन पैकी कुठलं फंक्शन हे PCI चं नाही? So option A, prescribing education regulation. Option B, maintaining the central register. Option C, preparing the first register of pharmacist. And option D, appointing the inspectors. Just we have discussed the functions of PCI. PCI is responsible for the formulation of education regulation. So this is the function of PCI. So this option is not correct. Maintaining the central register. Yes, PCI is responsible to maintain the central register. Now preparing the first register of the pharmacist. When the Pharmacy Act 1948 was implemented, that time government made a provision that to make a first register, and the first register preparation, that particular responsibility is given to the state government, and state government has to appoint the registration tribunals, nondani pradhikaran, registration tribunals. So each state government has to establish the registration tribunals. Okay, and they have to prepare the first register of pharmacist before the implementations or before the establishment of the state pharmacy council. So this is not the function of PCI. That is option C is the correct option. Many of you have given the option D, but correct option is option C, preparing the first register of the pharmacist. Appointing of the inspector is also the function of PCI. So correct option is option C. Preparing the first register of pharmacist is the function of, it is not a function of state pharmacy council. Sorry, it is not a function of PCI, Pharmacy Council of India. Okay. Now question number 70. In which year did the PCI publish the latest education regulation? Latest education regulation कुठले आहे? PCI ने publish केलेले. Whether it is 1991, 2011, 2021 and 2020. Yes. Which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? Yes, option D. That is 2020. PCI has published the latest education regulation for the diploma course in pharmacy in 2020. आपण त्याला ER 2020 असं पण म्हणतो. ER 2020. म्हणजे करेक्ट ऑप्शन्स आहे आपलं ऑप्शन डी 2020. Now this is the last question. According to Pharmacy Practice Regulation, PPR 2015, what is the core responsibility of a registered pharmacist in dispensing? PPR 2015 नुसार रजिस्टर फार्मसिस्टचं महत्वाचा रोल काय आहे डिस्पेन्सिंग करताना? Whether it is diagnosing the medical conditions, or formulating the national drug policy, or ensuring the prescription evaluation for dose, interaction and contraindications, or conducting clinical trials approval. Conducting clinical trials approval. यापैकी कुठलं उत्तर बरोबर येईल? Diagnosing the medical condition, it is not a role of pharmacist. It is the role of radiologist or the physician. Formulating the national drug policy formulation, it is not the role of pharmacist. Conducting the clinical trials approval, no. The pharmacist is not authorized to conduct the clinical trials. Those who get the license from CDSCO, they are authorized to conduct the clinical trials. But as far as the PPR 2015, that is pharmacy practice regulation, each pharmacist has to ensure the prescription evaluation, the dose, means they have to check the prescriptions very critically, whether the drug-drug interactions can present in the prescriptions or not, or medication errors and the contraindication. So pharmacist has to ensure or to check the prescriptions for the dose, drug interactions and contraindication. So this is the correct options for the this question. So this is the core responsibility of registered pharmacist in dispensing. So this is all about the Pharmacy Act MCQ practice. So dear friends, you have to read the Pharmacy Act, that is objective of Pharmacy Act. Then you have to read about the constitutions and function of Central Council or the Pharmacy Council of India. Then you have to read about the education regulations. Into that you have to see the approval of institutions, syllabus content and the equipment list, etc. So there is no need to go into the deep, but at least try to find out the in which year the PCI has published the different years. BPharm regulation is different, MPharm regulation is different, PharmD regulation is different, BPharm practice regulation is different. So you have to just make a list in which year the different regulation published by the PCI. Then the State Pharmacy Council and Joint State Pharmacy Council, their constitutions, their functions, and most of the times in examination, the MCQ may be asked from the offenses and penalties. So you have to just make a table, offenses and their respective penalties. So this is how you can able to prepare the different kind of MCQs related to the Pharmacy Act 1948. So before going to end of these sessions, my suggestion to all dear friends is you have to read the theory parts at least once before to practicing the MCQ. So thank you very much for the joining. Uh, Keep subscribing the channel for the more such videos. Thank you very much.